Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fourth edition of the Parent Coaches Meeting with the Director and Head Coach, Mr. Karthik Jeshwanth. Parents, this session will last approximately 45 minutes. I request you to please keep your phones on silent. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to address them after the program. We are comfortable with English, Hindi, and Kannada. Before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce Mr. Karthik Jeshwanth. Mr. Jeshwanth is a former Karnataka all-rounder who played alongside legends such as Gundappa Vishwanath, Roger Penny, and Brajesh Patel. As a captain of Karnataka Ranji team, he led players like Anil Kumble, Javagal Srinath, Venkatesh Prasad, and Mr. Rahul Dravid. Later, as a coach, he guided top talents in the country, including Robin Uthappa, KL Rahul, and Vinay Kumar, truly bringing his cricketing journey a full circle. Following his playing career, Mr. Jeshwanth served as the director of the RCKC Academy. He is the present faculty member at the National Cricket Academy. Since the inception of SIX, he has taken the role of the director and head coach of the academy. Under his visionary leadership, we are proud to have produced many state and overseas representatives who continue to excel in the game. Along with Mr. Karthik Jeshwanth, we have my colleague, Mr. Parthiban, today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Karthik Jeshwanth. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Sufyan. The reason, Sufyan told that I'm comfortable in English. कन्नड़ चैनल माताಡ್ತೀನಿ हिंदी में माताड़क बरता है हिंदी भी अच्छा आता है अगर आपको कोई सवाल या एक्सप्लेनेशन में हिंदी में करना हो बोलिए कन्नड़ದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಟ್ mostly I will doing it in English. Firstly, appreciate all of you your time and would like to recognize each one of you who have come here to understand how your child is going to progress and what is the journey going to be. So that is what this will be about. We have about 20 slides and out of which around 10 I will stress on. And in between, if you have any doubts, please raise your hand. I can stop and explain that. Or after we finish with that, you always have time to question. Okay. So as I get along, I do understand that all of you who are sitting here come from various fields and you're all very successful people, and that's the reason you're all here and you put your children to sport in the 6th Cricket Academy. Now the doubt would be like, you're all experts in your field, but when it comes to sport, for most of you it could be the first time, maybe your father, mother, grandfather, anybody, brother, sister, nobody has played, and suddenly my son or daughter has turned out to be a sports person with a liking towards cricket. And I myself as a parent, or I have not played the game at all. So what is it, how does this suspense, if I can call it suspense, because we don't know the pathway. So how a kid from here and if we, the path from where your child is, where he's just started to Shubman Gill. I'm not saying everybody will become Shubman Gill because the percentage of success in cricket is very, very low. So as I go through, I'll explain that. But when the success is so low, why is it that my son or daughter needs to play this sport? And what is the advantage of playing the sport, especially team sport? What is it that person who gains by playing this sport? So if you look at a team sport, see the mistake which parents do is expectation, for which we have another video which was played much later. The expectation should not be right to expect that, when I'm coming here in the morning, when I'm spending so much money and time, that I expect something. But is it the right thing or the wrong thing? Maybe we'll just see as we go through. So we'll just start with the, if we can move on. So Why are we meeting today? So usually every year we have this meeting. Just that last year, it happened that we skipped our mind or we just missed out on this. So later on during the season, we found that there were a lot of questions, very relevant questions, relevant concerns coming from the parents on a very frequent basis. That is when we realized that why is it the parents are not very ambitious with their children, or why is it that last few years we didn't have it and suddenly this year there are so many questions. Then it took us back to that this particular session which we do every year was missing the previous year. So more or less if we go through this, I think a lot of doubts which you have probably will clear. So why are we meeting today? To build a healthy parent-coach relationship amongst all the coaches, your children who have been coached, to build a healthy relationship, to encourage practices that are best for the development of our children. So we all look, you as a parent, I as a coach, look to develop children and to make the future generation of the country. To understand the current system and the pathways, which I told where is your child and where is the Indian candidate. To explain the six approach, the way we feel is the right way to play the sport, because most of the people who are involved in this setup in six have all played cricket, and a lot of advice comes from very, very important people who are currently in the system at very high positions. And to address your queries. And also I have not added one line, because of the expectations of the parents at times can be harsh with their own children, which I myself have seen. Parent, of course, the child is not here or the boy is not here and he stopped probably playing cricket. We have seen, our coaches have seen, the father making some action like this and literally telling that, the coach is telling you to do this and you are not doing it correctly. And we've seen him slapping him. So all these things will not help. It will only hurt the child further. The animosity between the parent and child will get stronger and stronger. And if not today or tomorrow, he or she will become an adult and he or she can take it upon him. So that's not a good practice, because if it is that easy, everybody could have done it. Right? So we'll go on. So first, to understand, yes, I put my child here, but let me understand why that child wants to play that sport. So he's the most important thing. See, in coach, parent and the child relationship, the child is on top, the player is on top, the coach is here, the parent is here. So both of us tell them, aid the player to go on top, not the other way, to burn down. So first, children want to play a sport to have fun. Mainly they want to have fun. Secondly, they want to learn new skills and improve upon that. And they would have seen television, they would have seen the neighbors play, they would see people playing outside. So they want to emulate that and get better at that. Excitement of the sport. Say like yesterday, there was a test match going on, the Wimbledon semi-finals was going on. Sport itself brings so much joy. And if you watch the semi-final of Alcaraz, at the end of the match, the interviewer asked, what is it that you get out of this? I get so much joy by just being here. Not about winning the Wimbledon or winning the match or something, but just being here. Playing tennis brings me joy. So even for a champion, to become a champion, that element of joy or happiness in what he or she is doing should be maintained, and the parent and the coach are very important spokes in the wheel of that particular part. If it converts into pressure, I'm telling you the success of that athlete will be curbed. So it is see that we don't pressurize the child. To make new friends, he goes to school, he's got neighbors, but then there is a pressure atmosphere there in school. Whereas he comes here, plays and makes new friends, and this is a great age for them to make friendship, because at this age there is no status, there is no where you stand, they make friends with everybody, and these are kind of friendship which last forever. Whereas friendship at our age could be very transactional. Friendship at that age is simple friendship. And lastly, to win. So this is the point which I want to stress. What for parents it is winning is everything. I don't think so. So when you start stressing on winning, the joy comes down, the pressure goes up, and then the performance will drop, right? So as parents, I think we should keep a check whether the boy is coming home and reporting, say that I got 100, I got 5 wickets, or we did very well, our team did very well, our team won, our team, despite not winning, we did very well. There were some great performances. So winning comes later, but has he developed a new skill? Has he improved upon the skill? How the skill progression is it? Is it getting into what his physical ability is doing? Is it sinking into his mind so that he gets better? So these are things which, as parents, we need to observe. Okay, cricket coaching. These are the 4 parameters. And I don't think most of it in this, your children in this class have the ability, and throughout we'll be working on the physical, psychological, tactical and technical. If somebody has to excel at the top, they have to develop all these 4 fronts. All these are required. So why I say this is, some parents at your age where your children are young, they go by performance. Don't go by performance, because even as coaches, we are only looking at the formation. Is he forming the right shape to achieve something? And in the process, if he is not strong, he may not be getting the results and the performance may not be there. Or psychologically, if somebody is smart, if he's good here, he will tactically, he'll manage that and get the performance. Tactically, same, where is the right psychological and technical. Some people are less technically, so they may not develop psychologically or physically little later on. So at a young age they will perform. So with one of this, you can perform at young age. But if you have to deliver at a bigger platform, you need to have all 4, and you've got to be consistently working on all these 4. Now the other reason why we need to play a sport, and which 6 is very particular about all this. There are many academies who may just say they're not very interested in these things because I want results, I want my child to play, represent. But we here believe that a team sport can develop all these things, because humility, I don't think you have a better person in being humble. Humility is about being humble. Other than our mentor, Rahul Dravid, who's such a humble person. You would have seen him moving around in the academy. He doesn't show up as a superstar, which he is. So that's about. So this game teaches all this. Humility, caring for someone, caring for someone's needs, sharing things, sacrificing, taking ownership instead of blaming it on somebody. I deserve to be there because I did well. I don't deserve to be there because I didn't do well. Instead of blaming the system, sir, that selector is biased, this coach is not helping my son. You get one thing right, start taking ownership. Encourage your children to take ownership. And if you're selected, it is because of you. If you're not selected, it is because of you. There's no other reason. If the system is bad, India would not have been dominating cricket for the last 6, 7, 8 years. Despite the system being bad, the good players make it. So I think you've got to encourage that instead of falling for people who are around the system. Not here, we don't encourage that kind of people. But if you go towards where cricket is played, the selections happen, there are enough and more people who will guide you as to how to reach that. Just yesterday, one of the girls' match, one of the parents told that, I want to put my daughter here because we are outside Bangalore and all that. I said, one thing, you want your child to improve your sport, you put her here. You want the child to represent this under 14, under 16, under 12, this is not the place. because we only help you to develop, but we don't take you the wrong route. And that route is stopped at under 14, under 16. Beyond that, nobody can help you. And none of your children would start playing cricket to play under 14 or under 16. They all want to become a Virat Kohli or a Bumrah or something like that. So let us keep that dream there and try to help what best we as parents and coaches can do. When they start focusing on a particular thing, see all these values which I put up are not only required for a sports person, but even for a normal human being. Whether your child becomes a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a businessman, a politician, if they all have all these things, the whole place will be a much better place to live in. Even if they don't make it to become a big sports person. And if they become big sports person, we have seen a lot of cases where many sports people, I don't want to name them, have lost out. Extremely talented players, but losing out to alcohol, drugs, so many personal issues, so all these things. So that cannot happen. So we are very particular about developing all these things and respecting everybody, that includes from the low strata to everyone. Enjoy others' success. So this is, I think I want to stress it on the parents also. If there is a kid who is blessed way above your child, accept it, that God has given him that ability and bless him. Instead, why my son is not doing, I'm paying equal amount of fee, that's not the right way. Because cricket, understand this, cannot be taught. Cricket has to be learned. Cannot be taught. There are so many things in life which cannot be taught. In school and college, it has to be learned. People pick up. Example is our own Prime Minister. He was not taught formally anywhere. He just picked up and went on to become the #1 citizen of our country. So similarly, this is a game which cannot be taught, it has to be learned. So how the child picks it up is what is important, which is important for the parent to understand also. So by enjoying others' success, you are creating an environment where all of us are happy. So if he is successful, if I need a favor from him, I can expect a bigger help from him. If he is not successful, I need a help, and his help will be very limited, which will not be enough for him. So if I pray for his success versus my son's success, all of us are happy. So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't get competitive. And then many questions, like I told you, what were the questions which came was, sir, my son is not getting the batting number. So my son is not getting the new ball. So these are all common doubts which you have. Now for that, my question is to reply, and the question to you is, if your son is good, why will the coach not give him to bat a ball? Because no coach wants to lose, right? So there will be times where people need to rotate, they want to give chances to other people. So all that will be there, part of the game. But understand that if your child is not getting the right number or the right place to bowl, please understand there are other better people. It is not, there is no coach who wants to lose or no school team coach wants to lose. So understand that this is it, and let him play cricket for developing other things. Not just to represent. Any questions till now? Otherwise, after I finish this kind of. Yeah. Now this is what many who don't understand the pathway of cricket, which I have to. Yeah. See, your child is here, the private gap, and we are a private gap. Anybody who comes and pays the fee, we will have to take it, right? So after this, and this, many people confuse that you're in a very remote academy, and then that gives me a license to reach the top. So this is where we are trying to reach there, right? So I'll just take you. So from this, if the child is good, he will be beaten by the school team. So that itself is a good signal for you whether he is having the ability, right? There are some vague cases where they have not done well in school or college and suddenly they have showed up as good cricketers also. That has happened, but that is a 1 in a million chance. And, that's an exception, and exception cannot be taught. Then after that, now in between, I think they started the under 12s also. And there is under 14 and under 16. So these league matches, you got to see that your children play somewhere. If they are good, they will be grabbed. If they are not good, it will be a tough job. And we as an academy, we just have only one club, so we can accommodate only about 15 children. And others who are good, not, I would say, good enough at that age, because to balance the team, we may not be able to take them. Those kids, we do move them to some other clubs whom we know. Otherwise, the signal for you is whether my child possesses that cricket to go big, is when he will be grabbed around these areas. That club will say, please come and play for us. This school will say, put the child in our school, like that. So that will be a signal. After under 14, 16, then league cricket will start, first division, second division matches will start. Then you have the under 19. I think this is a good stage for you to, at under 19, you should be able to take a call as to, do I continue or I don't think it's another field which I will choose for my child. So, and at under 23, when your child has become an adult, and at 23, if he has not represented anything, it is very, very rare that he is going to make it big, or he is going to break into any team, because the system works from here, from under 14, under 16, under 19, 23, then it goes to A teams. Then it goes into the hands of NCA. NCA is the National Cricket Academy. There nobody can put their child, but on the performance of what they do in under 16 and under 19, from the entire country, each zone picks up 25 people. South zone, central zone, north zone, east zone, like that. So that is not a direct entry, it is purely a performance. So as you go higher, nobody can stop you. Here people can play around. Somebody can, somebody's son, influential fellow, they'll get in. Don't get carried away by somebody is here or not here. It's not the thing. It is around this area, because around this area, the media, the press, everybody gets a whiff of what is happening to Karnataka cricket. When then that happens, if there is something, they will write against the player and it won't go for long. So unless if you're good only, you'll survive at this level. And then you go to the under 23, then you go to the Ranji Trophy. From here to here, the age group cricket will stop here. From here you got to play anybody. So the Ranji Trophy, that's called as first class. Then Bullock Trophy is about the south zone. Each zone makes a team with Karnataka, Hyderabad, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Goa, they all put together to make a team. And from that performance, they formed the India A Challengers. And then the IPL is a private tournament. People who have done well around from here, there will be people who will be watching and they will be part of selection when they play the IPL. And finally, people who have done well in the IPL and all these things will go on to represent India. That is a very small amount of people. So I just want to, anyone knows how many people have played for the country? How many people have test cricket? How many have represented India? Anybody can put the hand. Yes, please. 317 was Sai Sudarshan, who was recent. So when I was asked this question about 10 years ago, I didn't know. I thought it's somewhere in thousands and all that. It happened that one of the chartered accountant office bearers came to the academy, in the RCKC academy where I was sitting, and they asked me if you can come and talk to the CA students. I said, I thought they'll come to the wrong office, because this wall behind was Anil Kumble, that wall behind was Javagal Srinath, and this side was Rahul Dravid's office. So I thought these people have come to the wrong, they wanted to go to one of those places. I said, you must have God, you must have come looking for them. Then they said that no, we are not looking for you. I said that what qualification? These guys have played so much more than me, and I'm also a BCom student. BCom student addressing a CA. I thought, there must be a mistake. Then that person asked me, do you know how many players played for the country, Test cricket for India? I said I had no clue. And at that time, that person told me it was about 270. So that is when it struck me. I said, okay, anyway, so what? I said, sir, from 1923 or 1932, India has found a test team. And till now, you have produced 270 cricketers, test cricketers. And my CA were, the percentage of chartered accountants who pass, are very few. Any chartered accountants here? Yes, there you are. So I chose on you for a favor. So if I need a favor, I'm going to get a good favor. So the percentage was, at least when I was studying, it was 1.5, 2. And now I think it has gone up to 10, 12. The passing percentage, 5, 6. Yeah, 5, 6. So you can imagine the pass percentage is so low, and still people take up that. And that person's worry who came to call me was the other 95% were failing, are getting into the society as failures. A 23, 24-year-old, a good student, no ordinary student will attempt to become a chartered accountant. And out of those good students, 95% end up as failures. So what is the society we are producing? And in that case, your sport, which is producing only about 1.5 cricketers a year, how is it that you are keeping these children motivated? So now this should open up the eyes of the parents here also, that our children also who are trying to take up this sport where the success level is very, very low. So if somebody succeeds, great. We are very happy for that. So keep that thing in mind that my son or daughter may not be a success in this sport. So how do we take them along? Sport being a part of it. Much later, sport becomes a profession. Right? Keep that in mind, because we do not want to enter the society as a failure in cricket. We would rather want them to enter the society as what they learned from this sport. So for that, I certainly need the parents' backing also. So it is like I told you, the triangle of parent, coach and athlete. So are we clear on this? So get your children, if they get into school teams, get the children into club teams, but wait for them to come and approach you. Here, the things are not so bad in the system. So many atrocious things are happening. Don't fall for it. That will not take you anywhere. Because from experience, we know that so many parents, sir, we did that, we approached that coach, we approached this selector, nothing happened. So we do not want that. So this is the pathway with the Indian cricket, right? You have any doubts, you can come back later. So now we have started a kinder batch, which some of the parents are here. You might be surprised that we don't really teach cricket to them. We allow them to play cricket. It's like what when we were young, we were playing on the roadside. Today we cannot afford it because of the traffic and all the playgrounds are vanished. So we create an environment where they develop by learning their own thing. Very rarely, so in about 3-4 sessions, we just teach them technique. Rest of the time, we allow them to develop their own individual styles. So you might be wondering, why is it these guys are not, like other academies where every time they're holding the bowler's hand, holding the batsman's bat and trying to teach them. We purposely don't do it. We believe in unstructured way of learning. So at this age is certainly not the age for anyone to be into structured way of learning. So we encourage unstructured way of learning because we want them to develop their own style. Right? If everybody had started the structured way of learning, there wouldn't have been a Malinga, there wouldn't have been a Muralidharan, there wouldn't have been a Tendulkar, there wouldn't have been a Steve Smith, because they all come with a different kind of technique. But their coaches were great people, they allowed them to play like that. So we do not want to curb that. So that's about Indian cricket now. Under 12 was also started. I know it's a lot of pressure on the parents because this KSC has officially started this. So now you have to take them on the grounds about 30-40 kilometers. I know to drive in this Bangalore traffic, all these things. It is going to be very tough. So as parents also, when you're getting into the journey, you should know that this is about perseverance, tolerance, and then patience. If you're not going to have these things, it is going to be very difficult on your part also to sustain this. It's not easy to develop a sports person or being a sport parent. It is not an easy task. So for that you need to perceive, every morning you have to get up, every morning you have to try to travel different routes to different grounds, and then you have to tolerate the heat, the cold, and all the competition, the pressures, and then be patient that okay, someday some things will come good. So that is very important as a parent also. Now these are the few people. See, we've been for the last 7 years we have this sixth academy going, and we must be averaging in the 7 years about 300 boys continuously, because initially we had very less boys. And you might be wondering as to why we are not increasing. We have 35 pitches here, and we have added another 3-4 red soil wicket where we have the soil for more. So we want to give exposure with everything, all what is happening around the world to our players. Of course, if your children also grow up to become good cricketers, they will also have this exposure. We have 35 curve wickets, we have a granite wicket, we have a split wicket, we have matting wickets, we have concrete wickets, we have 12 lanes of indoor. So it's on different surfaces. Where by playing in different surfaces itself, you get that experience of getting better. Like I told you, cricket cannot be taught, cricket has to be learned. So we expose them to different surfaces. If the boy is good, he'll pick it up. These are the few people who played under 14, under 16. And then we have Karnataka under 19, Karnataka under 23. And then we have two players, Samit Dravid and Samarth Nagaraj. Samarth Nagaraj currently is bowling at 140. He's a guy looked upon all over India. People are looking at him as the next big fast bowling thing, but we really don't know whether, because fast bowling has got so many ups and downs, maintaining physical injury and all that. So Samarth Nagaraj is there, and even this is Prakhar, who has played for rest of India under 23. This is the boy who broke Yuvraj Singh's 440 record in the under 19. So that's him. He's playing in under 23. He also should be soon knocking into the first class. And these two boys, Yashovardhan and Vidyadhar Patil, they've been here from the start, and both of them are currently in the Ranji Trophy. And from now on, we hope to see that many more are in the Ranji Trophy squad, and they will move on to play for the zones, the Irani Trophy, the President Trophy, the IPL, and of course the Indian team. So this is how it is. So why I gave this also is about, we train almost 300 people every year, and not many have reached, not all have reached. Very small percentage have reached the top. These are the other pictures. Also, all these players who have played. The sixth philosophy is one thing which I want you parents to understand, because we are a little different. We believe in cricket for all. We have these retirement rules over super bowler. Sometimes the parents think that my son is batting so well, why did they pull him off? So, but we want others also to play. We want to give equal chance to everybody. So somebody is bowling very well. Suddenly we stop and give another bowler. So just to see that whether that bowler will be able to fit in that situation. So that we want to develop everybody. And our philosophy is about athlete first and winning second. We don't show trophies that we won this, we won that. We want to develop every individual holistically, not just as good cricketers. So we want to develop them holistically. And then, if athlete first attitude, which I am now seeing in our good teams, like the players whom I just showed the pictures, and also the first division team which we play, I see the attitude of the players is they play as team first, athlete next. Whereas we develop them as athlete first, team next. So you see, that's the good relationship with all these processes. The outcome could be that. So we believe that effort is more important than outcome, which I just spoke, and we believe in quality versus quantity. We don't believe that you play for 8 hours, 10 hours, and all that. That quality cricket, you play for those 2 hours, and at your children's age, the age at which your children are playing, 1.5 hours to 2 hours session is more than enough. They can sit there also. Okay. So don't get carried away by someone saying that somebody is playing 8 hours of cricket, 10 hours of cricket. Don't fall for that. Taking them off from the formal education, that's another big thing which is happening. Don't take your children off normal education. They're saying that study from home and all those things for the sake of cricket. No, because cricket, I told you, it's very, very difficult to succeed, and as education will handhold you like it is handholding the world, where you get some jobs and you get to do business. For anything to do, you should have this. And in school, people interact with people, whereas you make your child sit at home, and indirectly you're troubling him by putting him under more pressure. He's just sitting at home, playing matches. One match he fails, next match he fails. Can you imagine the kind of pressure he's going to approach the next match? Whereas we are thinking we're giving him more time to play and all that. No, what about the pressure? And this game is all about handling pressure, decision making. Yeah. And self-learning through scenarios, constraints, unconventional rules, challenges. I'll just explain this. Self-learning through scenarios, you might be seeing in the matting, that small matting ground, and inside we make those small circles, and we form our own rules where we put constraints, where we want to develop the offside shot of a particular player. So we tell him that there are no runs here. Whatever you do, we don't give runs. So he has to make way and to hit that this one. Or for a bowler, if you want him to bowl outside the off stump, we tell that anything which hits the bat is 4 wides. So then he's forced to. We will not, releasing from here, releasing from there. We are not telling him all that. We just make these rules and we expect them to improve. So unconventional rules and challenges and all these things. When the match is done, one side has won. So we just hide the target. Suppose one team is chasing 100 and they've done it in 7 overs, still 3 more overs to go. We say that make the target 140. So we don't waste time there. This is our way of teaching cricket. Challenges which we face is, this has been quite a regular thing, because when your children are of your age, everything is happy. Sir, my child is having fun, he loves to come back to 6 and all that. Little later, one of your child goes to represent under 12, under 14 or something. Then that parent is being corrected from outside that 2 hours of cricket is not enough, 20 hours of cricket. So that boy goes there, then the others go there, then they're being, exposed to the wolves now. I call them like that. And then, then I've seen many people come back here. So my advice to parents is, go and see the other academies. Go and see and then decide whether you got to be here or not. Otherwise, you have enough and more people who will be saying in that academy, that selector is there, this coach is the state team coach. If you're going to fall for all that, it won't. The only chance for you is better your game, and then you have a chance. Only then you will sustain. So, one-on-one we have no issue. What is the problem in going on one-on-one? And if you think that boy needs extra, we have no problem. But the problem is when the boy is being coached in a different academy by another coach, one-on-one. Obviously, he or she would have taught him some things, which could be a little contradictory to what we have taught. So now, by us entering and saying that, no, this is the way, what happens is the child is confused now. What does it do? Tend to 11, my coach told me to play like this. 4 o'clock, so is saying it is not that way, it is this way. So we do not want to confuse the child. So what we do is we back off. So we just allow him to come. You want to play, you play and go. We back off. We will not coach him those small things. But we will not stop them. We want to go, but now with the current social media status, everyone knows who's going where and all that. So it's not difficult for us to know. But this is the only thing. We have no problems in you going to another coach, but it is overloading the child, which is not good. And from the coach's point of view, it is not the ego which stops me from coaching. It is about confusing the child. So don't go to too many coaches. It is just that in the process, if you make from the chart which I showed from the private camps to India, research has shown that everybody goes through around 13 coaches, 13, 14, 15 coaches. So by the start of under 14, you have already exposed your child to 10 coaches. It's not a good sign, right? So coach's role also after a certain stage becomes very limited. It is all about the player. Now, the second part is you got to be a little careful, especially your children being young. School coaches' mentality of winning is everything. And the next part I'll tell you. See, the school coaches are there, if he wins a tournament, he gets a hike in his salary or a promotion or whatever. So in that case, we have a few examples here, especially the fast bowlers who are at the age of 11, 12, have been bowling 15 overs, 16 overs, because they're very good. And they bowl them, and these boys have got injury now, they've lost 1-2 years. So be careful about that. It is not about getting 5 wickets and getting selected. It is how many overs you bowl or how less you bowl also. And so somebody is batting well at a middle order, they suddenly send them opening to win the matches, which is not helping the player at all, which is just helping the coach. Field sets for spinners. So when these young spinners are there, the PT masters or the school coaches or the academy coaches, they put the fielders all around. And the batters do not have the strength to clear. And the bowlers, spinners especially, they toss the ball up like that, and these boys try to hit and you get wickets. That's why I told at the start that don't go by performance. So the performance shows up big. My son has got 5 wickets, 6 wickets and all that. What the school coaches will do is they put everybody. But in cricket, you're seeing the test match now, you've got to put a slip, a short leg, you've got to pressurize the batsman. If it is a white ball cricket, there's a circle, so many people you have to put inside. So that what is it that your child is learning, by hitting the headline in the paper. But what field is he bowled to? So it is not helping at all. So be careful of that. Those things, if you have that, you can come and share with us so that we'll be able to help you there. And parent coaches, say I've seen, in fact, parent coaches from my experience of coaching at this grassroots level, in fact, by getting too close, by getting too involved, you're putting a lot more pressure on the player. You brought him here, allow him, you do your work. That is better. Otherwise, matter of time at 16, 17, the boy or the girl will start realizing what kind of pressure I'm putting on my entire family. He or she will start thinking. They'll think that, what is the pressure I'm putting on my entire family? My entire family is dependent on my cricket. And my cricket, the best of the players have failed 50%. Because why I'm saying that, if you see the average of the greatest is hardly between 50 and 55. That means every time they went into bat, they wanted to get 100. Then the average should have been 100. So why is it Tendulkar or Dravid or Sehwag, Lakshman's average is around 50s? Every time they wanted to get. So the greats have failed half the time. Imagine these young children. So don't try to be parent coaches. Allow them. Let them learn the way. And I've seen many coaches trying to say that standing behind it is easy. The coaches can get the bat from there and they're not able to get from there. They're coaching. So when I conduct my classes for the NCA, I ask, now because of time I do not want to do it here, I ask the audience to, just fold your hands. If you want, you can write. Or if you can just write. Comfortably and just observe which hand is above the right elbow or the or below. Now you just observe where you are, and now try to flip it, change the other way. Can everyone do it? With effort, with difficulty, not being comfortable, I will be able to do it. So when a small thing, if we're sitting and relaxing as adults, if a small thing can be so difficult, you can imagine your child is running all the way from there and coach is telling just get your hand here, and you're sitting in the pavilion and then saying coach is telling here get it. So it's not easy, I understand that. That's why I ask people to do this exercise. So this is, like I say, it's an art. So we have to give time to, even for the change, to work and start giving results. Too many matches, this is also, I think, what is that, this one, crick info. What's that, crick heroes, a lot of parents go by, my son has played 800 matches, 1000 matches, I don't think even Tendulkar has played that. And then, currently, where are those kids? They're not in cricket. They're burnt out, they're exhausted. They've played more number of matches and a number of balls, more than a Dravid or a Tendulkar, and they're not even 16, they're out of the game. So be careful about that. People will start, that academy plays so many matches, this academy plays so many matches. We are aware of it. There are times, sometimes that some kids, because of our oversight, we have a pattern we follow. There are sometimes it happens that in that case, please come and let us know that he is not played a game for a long time. Those kind of things, But we know as to how many games are required. Yeah, this I spoke. I think sisters going to different academies, leading to irregularity. Because all this pressure you will get into, you go to the next stage. Overemphasis on under 14, under 16. Like I told at the start, your children have not started to represent under 14, under 16. They have started to play something much beyond that. Don't fall for, my son is picked or not picked. It should not be a yardstick at all. Parent support, what we need, where we need some help from you also is the FOMO factor of fear of missing out. Do not overdo. Don't overdo it. Ask the kid, do you want this? See, first thing is, there are certain parents, it's in psychological terms, reverse dependency trap, it's called as. Reverse dependency trap. Some parents, because India is a developing country where when we were all young, probably we couldn't afford a bag or a shoe. So now I have so much of disposable income. I couldn't play because I was not good. But I say that my parents didn't allow me, I didn't have good coaching, I didn't have this equipment. Now today I'll buy you 5 bats, what you want. But I want you to play, I won't live my dream through my kid. That's not a good thing. He may be, first identify what he is. He may be a great singer, he may be a great dancer, he may be a great athlete, he may be a great orator, anything. So identify that. Don't start that reverse dependency trap, it's called. Don't fall for that. Just because when I was playing, I didn't have it. Now I can afford all that. It's not a good thing to be. It is like if I don't know to sing, I cannot sing. You take me to Lata Mangeshkar, you take me to Mohammed Rafi, nobody can change me. So understand that. But identify what am I good at, and then take your child to that path. But playing cricket, it helps in other ways, being fit. Like I told, you're communicating with so many people, you know how to respect people, how to be on time, how to be humble, and India is getting on to be, it is already a diabetic capital of the world. So physical fitness will certainly keep them healthy. Keep all these reasons, for those reasons, children should play, and I think every child has a right to play. But not just to represent. Representation comes much later, when he or she is very good. Treat success and failure at the same at home. I think most of you are aware of it. Let children make everyday small decision what to wear, what to order at the restaurant. See, we try to, because we love our children so much, we tend to care too much for them. So allow them to take decisions. It's cricket, apart from the skills, it's about deciding when a ball is bowled outside the off stump, if the ball is moving, should I cut or leave? So this is a decision making. It's got nothing to do with technique or learning or anything like that. So if you get your children involved in decision making, I think they'll be better whether to leave that ball or cut that ball, whether to flight that ball or push that ball. Cricket is not everything, and cricket is fun. Like I told about Alcaraz, if you go back to listen to Alcaraz yesterday winning the semi-final, he stresses on fun and joy. Now just for you to understand this, I just take you through where your children are, and all of us. That includes Roger Federer, to Tendulkar, to Kobe Bryant. Everybody would have gone through this. It is unconscious incompetence. That is, I'm referring to a child now who is in the kinder. Unconscious, I don't know what to do. Incompetence, I don't know how to do. So your children are at that stage. So I cannot be, taking him to the center of the pitch and asking him to do what the seniors are doing. The seniors who are playing there also have gone through this stage where your children are going through. So your child does not know what to do, does not know how to. And the next stage, conscious incompetence. He knows what to do, but he isn't capable of doing it. He is not competent enough to do it. He knows what to do. So now after that goes to the next stage, he is conscious and competent. He knows what to do, he knows how to do. Now that is the stage where a lot of people around the age of 12 to about 16, 17 they spend. Everybody spend a lot of time there. That is where the feel factor is developed, and he knows what to do, he knows how to do, but he knows how to play a 110 ball, but a 130 ball he does not know. So he's practicing for that. Okay? And then he comes back to the champion stage where unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence is, as some champions, they need not think here. They can think something else and still they can play that ball. Whereas, say, if I take you to driving, you all drive here. Earlier when we started driving, where is the gear? When I had to change the gear, I had to and where is the clutch? Where is the accelerator? I have to look. Now today I can just do like this. I can, in one hand I can be talking on the phone, and I can be waving at somebody. With one hand I can be driving. So we all start when you are trying to. This is about skill acquisition, and when any human being tries to learn the skill, these are the processes which they go. And we have your children at the start. That's why our coaching methods are also different, right? Now to succeed and stay on the top, like a few names I mentioned, people who played for the country for 15 years, 20 years, the Virat Kohlis, the Kumble's, the Dravid, Tendulkars, and many in different sports also. These are all the qualities which are required to be successful and stay on top. Now, you think at your age of 10, 12, my son has played 5 years of cricket, he's not achieved everything. You as a parent can understand, does he have all these qualities? And to develop all these qualities, the time he needs to spend to learn. Alright? So like patience, concentration, confidence, technique, focus, intelligence, discipline, dedication, tolerance, determination, decision making, strength, awareness, anticipation, skill, intent, poise, accuracy, speed, variations, consistency, motivation, resilience, getting up from this one, independence, positive thinking. The fast bowlers, the keepers, the spinners, the batters, they need all this. So does your child have all this? Because if you have all this only, you will succeed in the sport and remain in the sport. So that is why the time is required. It doesn't happen overnight. You can play this one. So this is just one second. This is a coach. This is a coach who coaches a lot of these golfers and tennis players in the US. He's a sports psychologist. He talks about expectation versus confidence. What is expectation? What is the difference between expectation and confidence? How expectations can ruin somebody's confidence. So just listen, it's an American accent, it could be difficult, that's why I gave you the theme.
PeakSports.com presents the Confident Athlete video show starring Dr. Patrick Cohn. Dr. Cohn is a leading sports psychology expert. He teaches junior to professional athletes proven mental toughness strategies for achieving peak performance in sports.
Hi, Dr. Cohn here with the Confident Athlete video show number 3. In the last show, I talked about what is self-confidence, how do you get it, and how is it destroyed. In today's show, I'd like to talk about the number one saboteur of confidence, and that is having high or strict expectations. Let me take a second and talk a little bit about expectations and my philosophy about expectations. Expectations are not confidence. From my perspective, expectations are more judgments or demands that you place upon your performance that really have nothing to do with the execution of a motor skill. And remember, confidence focuses on execution of a motor skill or your belief in your ability to execute. Expectation is more about results and worrying about the results that you get, such as the score for 18 holes, or getting points for your hockey team, for example, or expectations of trying to be perfect on the ice and not make any mistakes as an ice skater. Those are what I call strict demands or expectations. Well, why are those a problem? Well, number one, when you don't reach your own expectations, if you set unrealistic, almost irrational expectations for your performance, such as, I have to throw a no-hitter today, or I have to be perfect on the golf course, or I can't make any mistakes in my program on the ice. Well, all of those examples of expectations really limit your ability and they limit your confidence. Why? Because they're so demanding, they're so high that it's very, very difficult to reach your own expectations. And then when you don't reach your own expectations, it becomes a problem because you think you're failing. Most of the students that come to work with me have unbelievably high expectations and low confidence. And I call that the recipe for disaster. Well, why is that a recipe for disaster? Because if you have high demands and low confidence, you're not going to be able to perform your absolute best. What we really want is absolutely no expectations. We'll replace the expectations with goals that help you focus on execution, and we want high confidence. This is what I call my number one formula for success.
But expecting too much can lead to pull down your confidence, and that can pull down your performance. So instead, no expectation and focusing on the process. Like John Wooden says, process goals versus success goals. If you work on the process, the success will follow. And when you don't have expectations, you're not putting pressure on yourself. That is the best chance for you to perform. That's what he says. Let's move. Go to the next slide. Yeah. And last one or two slides. Post-match practice, especially I tell the parents, you finish your cricket by the time you go home. Don't take your cricket to the dining table. Don't disrupt your harmony in the family. Your cricket, what has happened, whether good has happened, not good, bad has happened, just finish it by the time you get off the car. Right? So, what are the questions which will be good for you as parent is, did you have fun? Did you learn something or improve? Did your team win? Did you eat or hydrate yourself properly? Versus, you just ask yourself, I'm not telling all of you. The other questions could be putting pressure on the child, could be, how much did you score? Why did he open, not you? Why did you get out? The neighbor got 100 and why did you get out? I'm also spending so much money on you, I'm spending so much time. The best coaches have exposed to you, why are you not getting? How come he played so well? all these are all not good questions. Instead, I will always advise the parent by talking to your children something different other than sport. Just start, and the best time to talk sport is when the child has done well and something, and those are rare days. It doesn't happen every day. So those rare days when the child opens up, that is when you talk with them, let them finish what they want to say, and then you have something. Previously you've seen that there's some mistake is going. Everybody are coming on time and you're going late, and everybody are doing so much of hard work. But I see that whenever you get a break, you go back to the ground late. All these things, if you want to convey it when he has a good day. When he has a bad day, you convey it. It will just not stick here. Okay. So success is not equivalent to winning, and failure is not same as losing. Striving to win and putting maximum effort is the most important thing, because players can control only effort and not always control the outcome. So only the effort we can control. I see a lot of players here, some very reputed players, the kind of effort they put, is excellent, is unbelievable. And one of the boys from Melbourne, who landed just day before at 3:30 in the morning, and at 8:30 he was here in the net, and again at 3:30 in the afternoon he was at the net. So if somebody thinks that my son is putting so much effort, listen to this, So effort now everybody is putting. That's a given. If you are not putting effort, you are going nowhere, right? Everybody is putting now, because slowly in India, cricket from a sport is becoming a profession. So for that, effort is required. So a 12, 13-year-old boy who's traveled so long and slept at 3:30 and 8:30 is on the ground. So that is effort. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, Sufi and Parthiban, please come. Any questions? Yeah, give the mic. Yeah.
Sir, good morning. So since you set the CA example, so remember he said like from 2% it went to 8% now, because the institute took a methodological approach of controlling or at least giving the feedback. Like saying you may not make it. So better you look outside. So that is how it went from 2 to 8. And being one of the participants in those initiatives, I'm telling. So a lot of people started losing their career, thinking that they'll become a CA, and after 30, 35, they'll become nothing. So here it is little earlier. People like who are visionaries like you. Probably if you give them an early feedback, are you going to make it, or you're not there at all? For example, just now you said efforts. If they are not willing to sweat it out, then they are not going to make it, because it's very competitive. If they are not ready to put the efforts.
Yeah. Good question. I got the gist of it. So when we are a private academy, and anybody comes at this age, we allow most of them to come in, because we don't know in the next 2-3 years what they're going to be, because human bodies are made in such a way that however big visionary you are, you cannot predict a 7-year-old what is going to be in 12. Whereas if a 12-year-old comes, we will straight away say that he is not good enough. I don't think you should be wasting time. That's why we have a stricter selection. Like if you go to any private academy, they will just welcome you. You give me 10,000 rupees a month, I'm happy. My bank balance is getting better. But here we have a selection, and then we say that we tell the parent he is not going to make it. If you're playing for a career sake, this is not the thing. But then for other reasons which sport brings in itself, the advantages of playing the sport, like the other reason is, from a common person to a sports person, the way they deal with failures and successes of life are much better. A sports person sees failure and success literally every ball he bowls or bats. Whereas I and you as common people, we probably see our success as, my son got into this great school, my son got into this college, I got a promotion in my job, my son got married, my daughter got married. All these kind of things. I'm promoted as CEO, all that. It happens once in 4-5 years, and if you take your lifetime, even the sad incidents could be 5 or 10 in our entire life. Whereas a sports person is dealing with this every day. So that is a great thing. So when you see a sports person dealing with this office problems, home problems, with mixing with people, all that a sports person is better off. It is, you're not putting your child only to represent or excel in cricket, but these qualities the sports people tend to do much better. So the thing about it is that after about 14, we tell the parents straight away that he will not make it. Despite that, you want to play, please play for other reasons. Yeah. Yeah. After that, we'll come in. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sir, thanks for this session. My question is, for kids, do we identify, let's say, 2-3 personalized interventions which are needed for that individual kid? Let's say it could be something on technique. Let's say my son, I'm just taking an example. If he wants ball too high in the air, I'm just taking an example. So for every kid, do we identify, let's say, 2-3 personalized interventions, technical interventions, which can possibly help as part of the process?
But you're saying that's not happening here?
No, I'm asking as a process.
Good. As per I would say research, as per how a good coach deals with this net session is, he interferes with the player 3 times, out of which someone from outside may not notice the first and the third. The second, like you say, there is an example where there is an intervention from the coach is required. Our coaches do it. We also follow that same pattern. So we tell them when in the group as to what is it that is required in this session and what is the outcome we are expecting. And in between, if he is losing track, we do interfere. Yeah. So we do that. Yeah, one. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for a good presentation. Just needed clarity on the slide where you showed the hierarchy of, where you mentioned about the under 14 and under 16 leagues. Just wanted to know 6 and how does it tie together? You said that the player is good, these leagues will come grabbing for the talent. Do they come spotting here or we need to look for it? Just wanted clarity on it.
Yeah, good thing. Good question. I should have elaborated that. It's about now whatever is happening in this corner, people in the other corner of Whitefield they know. Or what is happening in Whitefield we know that there is a kid there and we are looking for a number 4 batsman. So we don't have anyone. We look for them or vice versa. So they will be spotted. So be assured that if you're I'll quote Kirmani, SMS Kirmani. He says that talent, whoever tries to stop cannot be stopped. It will emerge. It will emerge. So we don't have a process like these corporates have. We don't have it, but the word of mouth. A lot of people move around. Like how do people select IPL teams? They keep going around watching matches. The scouts will be sitting in some corner, and that's similar thing which happens with. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, sorry. My son is 7 years old, so obviously for me, what is the goal, right? My goal right now is not limited that he should just develop a love for the sport. I appreciate all of the spark and everything, but obviously at my level it is that. So it's been very helpful presentation even in terms of what they just inculcate from this. I have my brother still remembers spending a lot of his childhood in the nets, and he adopts a lot of those sports strategies even today in the corporate world. He always brings it up with the team. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm focused on right now. You did touch upon some do's and don'ts for the parents. I wanted to check on do's and don'ts specific to the sport itself, because we obviously try and play with him at home, but I think there's a fine line. I keep arguing with my husband, there's a fine line between supporting him and becoming a coach, and I would rather he not become the coach at home as well. But that was one, and just, if you have anything specific to the sport in terms of what we practice with him at home, whether there is a do's and don'ts at his age. And I also thought that maybe on the fun factor, I just had some suggestions that maybe we could have when there are live matches going on, if the Kinder batch especially, if you want to get them together here to watch along with you guys and just, they'll learn a little more just watching along with you or something like that, or a mentorship with some of the older kids.
There are many questions in that. One or two
Sorry.
I'll answer the rest of the questions. I'm almost hitting the age of Alzheimer's, and you are about starting your life, and there are so many questions which I cannot remember. The last part, I'd like to ask the audience, what is the advantage of what she said, playing with your child? What is the advantage of a child who has played with the parent versus playing with the coach? What do you think? Is there any advantage? Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a parent, you spend most of your time with the kid, and each kid will have a learning acumen, right? Few kids learn from observing, few kids learn from hearing, few kids learn from doing. So, weakness and strength of your child is best known by the parent from the early childhood. Right? So, being a parent, it is a responsibility that you should tell the coach that this is the way he learns better. Did you observe that? So are you in sync with that? Because coach said 2 or 3 hours, right?
Correct.
It becomes difficult for them also to judge it.
Correct. Thank you. So apart from that, he was talking about the VARC way of learning: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. So he was referring to that, where we see, we hear, we feel, and we read and learn. So that is one way of learning which exposes when you are playing with the parent. So he is made to learn one. And second thing which is more relevant to this sport is about pressure. When he is playing with the parent, he is not under pressure. He makes mistakes, he defends it, he fights with you, he learns how to deal with people under an environment which is not pressurizing him. And at that time, the intrinsic learning develops. And intrinsic learning is the one which bails you out when you are in the center. Even coach taught learning is extrinsic or explicit. It is not implicit learning. So, intrinsic learning, that's why we use this unstructured way of learning. That is more intrinsic. So, under pressure, that bails you out. So, beyond that, a few questions.
Also, like what we generally encourage parents to do is, even at home, create an atmosphere for the child to, as much as possible, play and enjoy. Like if you have like father son competition, allow him to also lose. Many a times you make the child win so that he becomes happy. What I personally feel is confidence begins from home. The minute you say no, you can't do it, it's a different game changer. You can. There's a lot more difference from you say you can't and you can. You can try. Things like those make a huge difference for the child, especially. And coming from home, the minute he enters the ground, there's so much confidence. There's a smile on his face that I did something at home. He comes and talks to us about it. At home, I did this. I lost and I won too. So there's a big learning difference for the child. If he's just learning and suddenly he loses one day, that thing hits him hard. So that's why I always encourage parents, who keep coming and asking me, what should we do extra? At home we can go back and play with him and make it, like in a constant pace, make it slightly difficult some days he wins, some days you win. And end of the day, the child has to learn something and have a smile on his face. We'll take the last question, and due to time constraint, 2 questions.
So I would not say this is a question, sort of questions. It's a request. So is there a possibility to have walking batches, maybe 6 to 8, so people like us who come from 30 kilometers, it's more beneficial. So are we thinking in that lines? Because we come only on the weekends.
We do have the 6:30 to 8:30 batch.
In the morning.
Yes.
Weekdays.
Weekdays we don't have, because again school, a lot of children's school starts 8 o'clock, 7:30, and it is slightly difficult.
Check the possibility.
We will definitely take the suggestion, but we'll take the suggestion, but again looking at the logistic part, there are some children go in school buses, but we'll take this as a suggestion and we'll look into it.
That's secondary question. See, there are few coaches who has left us. So as I would request some farewell because there is a bonding between kids and the coaches as well as the parents. So it's a gesture for the
He said the coaches have left us and the bonding between them is not there.
Yeah, it will be there, especially at that age. But the earlier you try to understand, you have the respect. You have the respect towards your coach, and like I told you, as per research, a player to reach the top changes around 13 coaches. It's not he changes by force. Under 14 coach is different, 16 is different, the first class team is different, the test match is different. So by force it will be there. I understand what you're saying, but I think let them develop a good this one. Say like there was Guru Purnima yesterday or day before. So I got this one from Robin Uttapa whom I'm coaching him from the age of 14. So I think he's put up a video also. So that relationship is there, that respect is there. My question is not related to the roboting. I'm just saying a few of coaches have left recently. So it's as a token of things. There is a bonding between kids and coaches and also with the parents. So some farewell or something like that. We'll think and get back to you because we don't know what it can lead to because in certain schools they have went through this kind of a thing. Then you are a big businessman, you give your farewell at 5-star hotels. I'm a salaried man, I cannot afford that. My daughter or son was started to feeling inferior. So all these things, whether those kind of things open up, we don't know. We'll discuss and get back on that. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Karthik sir, thank you for such a wonderful session, and thank you to Subi sir for sending good thoughts every day in the group. That matters a lot. And my question is, sir, just while playing, especially my kid, when my wife tell her to study, at least says she said, I'm playing cricket, why should I study? So by your experiences, how you take these two parallelly, study as well as the sports? Because I heard from so many parents as well. So this is what is happening. So in future, how to take it by your experience, that would be helpful for us.
Yeah, again, it's like balancing. You have to balance things because study says the numbers, look at the numbers, the success rate. You don't want your child to not go up. You have to succeed in both education and sports. Hand in hand, things go up. If you're just putting all your eggs in one basket, saying that, you're going to be a cricketer, the life is set for you, but what happens if he fails? There's no studies to look back to. That's why we encourage a lot, even the guys you see on the state representatives, everyone is a good student. They balance it. Most importantly, they balance the schedule. When you have to study, you have to study. You leave your sports. What happens is, if you don't study properly, it affects on your game. It affects on your. We talk to children about it after the class. We spread good values. We talk to them about the importance of education. If you look at it, Anil Kumble, highly educated, Rahul Dravid. There are many people along the globe who are highly educated. It has helped them in the sports too. So we encourage children in the next session that exam times. Focus on your, once you're done with your class, go back, finish whatever you have to do. Don't keep it for the next day. The immediate thing is children think that, okay, I have a match, I'm going to leave everything. So we try to tell children that don't keep things for tomorrow. If you have to study, leave everything aside. Because the last thing is you want your parents to stop you from coming to this place. So
I'll go one step further. If that is an option, you tell him, you're not playing cricket, I'm stopping cricket. You have to study. So because like he gave the example of Kumble, Rahul, you see Sunil Gavaskar at 76, he's still relevant. Ravi Shastri, Jawaharlal Srinath, they're all engineers. So education is a must. And I do not want to name the negative side. There are many who did not study, and once they're off the game, they're doing all kinds of notorious things. Yeah. One last question, please. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the insightful session. I have one quick clarification. The roadmap what you have displayed, is that applicable to the girls cricket also, or you will have a different format there?
So women's cricket has grown a lot. If you can, yes, you can go to the third slide. Yeah, so we've got close to 6-7 girls right now who've represented under 15 and under 19, and there's Ananya who's represented the women's challenges. So women's cricket, it starts from under 15 and under 19. You know, there's no under 12 for women's cricket. So there is a pathway for that. We've had a lot of girls coming into the academy. We've got the numbers. There is a women's team which is happening. We have 2 teams which are playing the women's league. So there is women's cricket also in the academy too.
Thank you.
And before we conclude, I would sincerely like to thank each and every one of you taking your time here today. Your involvement and support means a great deal to us and to play a vital role in the child's growth, both on and off the field. Together, under the leadership of Mr. Jeshwanth, we will continue to working to provide the best possible environment for your young athletes to learn and perform. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel to reach out to me. We will share them on our monthly YouTube page in conversation with the director and lead. We have this monthly YouTube episodes which a lot of parents, anonymous, send us questions and we answer it on a platform. Thank you so much, and the TN officer. Thank you so much for this.